What's up, everybody? Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. It's New Comic Wednesday, and today I'm here in my local comic book shop, Bases, Cards, and Comics, to go over my comic book pull list. But before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell, and all of that good stuff. I talk a lot about comics, movies, and on occasion, even music. So, what is a comic book pull list? Well, if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to explain it here. There's a video right up here where you can go and learn more about that. So today on my comic book pull list, I'm going to start off with Marvel as I do always and go in through small press and indies afterward. The first one on my list here is Gwenpool, issue number 2. Now this is Gwenpool Strikes Back, and you guys have seen my review of this, and you guys kind of know how I feel about it, but again, I do review comic books here on the channel, so you know I'm going to pull this to bring you guys a review on that. The next one I have here is Swordmaster, issue number 3. Now, I haven't done any of my reviews on this series, but I gotta tell you guys, I've really been enjoying what's going on here in Swordmaster. I think it's definitely a title that you guys should pick up. It's more of a, like an anime-style character that they're bringing into the Marvel Universe, and I think it's definitely a good one. The next one I have here is Black Cat, issue number 4. Now this series has actually been pretty good. I wasn't quite sure what to expect when this series was going to start, and I think a lot of us kind of felt like Black Cat was finally deserving of her own series. She finally got one, and they've been doing a good job over here writing this. That is Jed MacKay. Is Jed MacKay writing that? Yeah, Jed MacKay. It's been very good, something kind of interesting. Some weird things going on in this series, but I think it's one that you guys might want to check out if you're interested in the character of Black Cat. Now, the next one I have here is probably one of the other bigger ones coming out this week, one that everybody's been talking about, and that's Powers of X, issue number 4. Now, this is the fourth, there's two left after this, as well as 2 issues of House of X as well. This series has been really well written. And I've got to tell you, I've quite enjoyed it. Jonathan Hickman's been coming in and writing a pretty good series. Kind of, I don't know, maybe revising the X-Men history a little bit. Now, I know that in the last issue, there was some things advertised in there, where they're getting ready to have a whole bunch of spin-off books coming out of the series. And I got to tell you guys, I'm probably not on board for all of those. I mean, you guys can see my comic book pull list is getting a bit heavy here anyway. But there is probably at least one series that I'm going to continue going forward after this kind of like reintroduction, I guess you could say, ends. The next one I have here is Captain Marvel, issue number 10. Again, I haven't really brought you guys any reviews on the Captain Marvel series. Overall, I can say that I haven't been completely dissatisfied with it. It's been okay. I mean, a little bit slow moving at times, just kind of like the last issue I know I read. It was, I'm sitting there kind of reading it like I'm not exactly for sure what the point of this issue was, but I guess we'll see how it segues into issue number 9. Now, the next one and the final one on my Marvel list is Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 29. We're on issue number 29 already. But of course, this one is a bi-monthly mag, so we do get 2 of these every single month. Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man, it has been pretty good. Now, it's, I've talked about this before. It's been a little up and down on the series. It gets really good. It started off really good, and then it kind of lulled a little bit and took back off with the 100. And now here we are on issue number 29 already. But I got to tell you, you guys know if you've watched my channel here long enough, I do like Nick Spencer's writing and like what he's been doing with this series, as he's kind of brought us back into more of the classic Peter Parker character. Now, I am going to go ahead and get into some small press issues, and the first one I have here is on Dynamite Comics, and that one is Chastity, issue number 1. Now, I got to tell you guys, this one I'm going to be doing a review on. The reason that I'm picking this one up is due to the writer being Lee Williams, and you guys know, if you've seen some of my other reviews of her work, I'm not exactly her biggest fan, but, for some reason I find it a little more challenging and a little more fun to do reviews on things that I don't necessarily like. So we're going to see how this one is, and, I also do it in the hopes that maybe one of these days, one of these writers that I don't really like the writing, they will write something I like. That's ultimately what I'm holding out for, is the hopes that they're going to do something I like. So we'll go ahead and get that one read, and I'll probably do a review on that soon, and I'll be talking about that more on the Trailer Park Live on Friday. Now, the next one I have here is on IDW Comics, and I need to do a review of this series already. It's almost over, one issue left, and that's Kanto issue number 4. And I've got to tell you, I've really quite enjoyed this series. It's not anything that I would have normally been into, but the first issue, my local comic book shop here, they lent me the first issue to read and check out, and I quite enjoyed it. Went ahead and bought it, put it on my pull list, and so I've been keeping up with this series. Like I said, one issue left, so if you guys, when I do these reviews, if it's something you think you might like, you definitely need to go check it out, and I'm sure it'll be on trade paperback soon as well. Now, the next one I have here is on Image Comics, and that's Trees. God, what is it? Trees, Three Fates. That's issue number 1. Now, this is a new series, and the one reason I'm getting this is obviously to do a review on it, but this book is actually being written, and they're turning it into a TV series, so I thought it was something that kind of intrigued me, so I figured I'd go ahead, pick it up, read it, and do a review on it. The next one I have here is another one I need to do a review for you guys on issue number 1, but that's on Image Comics as well, Coffin Bound, issue number 2. And this one, I gotta tell you, I really did like the first issue on this. Went ahead and put it on my pull list. Gonna have this one review coming out for that. I thought the first one it's a little odd, but I thought the setup was good, and the art in it was, it's I don't know, it's minimalist, but I think it really kind of helps tell the story of what's going on here. And the next one is one that I've really been enjoying, and that's Reaver, issue number 3. Absolutely great series. Again, I've kind of been finding I've pulled some more of these indie comics, and this one's kind of, it takes a little place in, kind of more of like a medieval time, and I've really been liking that. And I guess it really shouldn't be anything strange, considering, if you guys know me, I'm a huge nerd, and me and my family, we load up and go to Renaissance Fair every year, and we dress up and all that stuff, and maybe through one of these books, one of these days, I'll learn how to speak the lingo when I get there, because I don't know how to do all that huzzah and all that kind of stuff. But it's not in this book, but again, I have really liked this Reaver series. And the next one I've got here is The Dark Age, and this is in issue number 2, and I'm not even sure what comic book publisher this is on. Let me go ahead and figure that out here for you. It is on, what is this on? Red 5 Comics. Now, I've never heard of this series. I've never even heard of this publisher. But here at my local comic book shop, they were telling me kind of what the idea and the premises of this story. It definitely sounded like something interesting about how the world would be, or how we would be without technology. So that in itself just kind of makes me salivate. Makes me wonder what's going to go on in this story. So I definitely can't wait to read this issue. Now, the last one that I have here is one that I actually seen on, when I did my comic book previews on Monday, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick it up, and I decided to pick it up here last minute, but that is The Watcher, issue number 2 on Xenoscope Comics. And again, I have no clue what this book is about or anything like that. Just that cover looked kind of sick. I seen they had another cover here, and we're going to review this one, see how it is. But it looks like it's supposed to be somewhat of a horror-ish type of vibe to it, and I don't know. I guess we're going to see. And you guys know, more and more I've been getting into the indies slowly but surely. And, anybody at Marvel, if you're watching, I'm telling you, you guys need to step up your game, man. You got the superheroes. You got that going for you. But, just, keep the quality going. And, hopefully, hopefully I don't start to overcome here with all the indies and have to cut out some of my Marvel and DC stuff. And I only do a little bit of DC, so I probably won't be cutting them out. But that's all I have for my comic book pull list here today. And like I said, once again, I am here at my local comic book shop, Bases, Cards, and Comics. If you guys have a local comic book shop near you, you should definitely get out and support them. I can guarantee you they probably have more than just comic books. As you can see behind me, they've got all kinds of posters. They've got action figures, trading cards, magic cards, all kinds of different things that you should check out. And not only that, at times they do have free things. They have free comic book day once a year. And, about every month, they put out previews of the different comics that are coming out, with Marvel previews, DCs, and all those kinds of things, and they give those out to their customers as well, where you can just kind of preview and see what's going on. But and also Yoda, we got Yoda back there. You know, so maybe I don't know if you have Yoda at your local comic book shop, but I certainly do at mine. And that's I love my local comic book shop, and I hope you have one near you. And because it's kind of sad, I've heard one of my viewers saying about how his local comic book shop had recently closed down, and man, that's just sad, for somebody like me, who's a comic book geek. And hell, I only got back into reading about a year ago. But anyway, that's all I've got for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. Now, as I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I have uploaded new content. What that also does is it sends you out notifications anytime I plan on doing a live video. I do live streams here on the channel just about every day throughout the work week in the morning at 8 p.m. 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, called the Morning Movie Chat, where I just kind of flap my gums for about an hour talking about movies. And then on Friday on the Trailer Park Live, I do on Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I go over a couple of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and then I get in and interact with you all as I talk about some of the topics that I have of just things that have been going on throughout the week, and a lot of times just things that are on my mind. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I really don't care. But more importantly, make sure you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Happy reading, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.